Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about having the discipline to do less, a kind of response to the excessive productivity of our time, the culture of hustle and grinding, and the feeling that to get anywhere in life you have to really exert so much effort and, pardon me, work yourself down to the bone. I found myself fall victim to this mentality with my own content creation, where I feel this sort of pressure to produce and record videos, even when I don't necessarily feel as though it's right. I'm not in the right energy, the right headspace to record. I'll still sort of force it out. And it creates this kind of dynamic where I'm doing stuff which my heart isn't really in it. I don't feel really motivated to do it, but this is inbuilt, ingrained, conditioned pressure that tells me, oh, if you're not working hard, you're doing something bad. This is kind of this shame, this sense of guilt for not working hard enough. But I've recently had some sort of reflections on my own sort of attitudes towards work, and I've come to the conclusion that, they always say do less, not more and stuff. And it's a cliched saying, but it certainly holds some truth to my manner of work. And my manner of work, creating these sorts of videos and thinking about sort of philosophical, spiritual topics, that's not a real creative orientation or a kind of way of thinking that grinding doesn't really doesn't reward that sort of stuff. Grinding really just sort of makes you very rigid and stressed and exhausted. And when you're grinding and pumping out video after video after video, you can just tell the energy is off in that video. You're not really in the flow there. You're sort of anxious about having people watch you, tickling the algorithm, all that sort of stuff. And I've been trying to sort of really detach my consciousness from that and to really just enjoy and fall in love with the process of speaking to people over the internet, obviously. Because that's the most authentic form of expression, obviously. And it feels good in the moment. What doesn't feel good is treating this as work, treating excessively, brewing over analytics and click-through rate and what's going to get clicks, how do I game the algorithm. I've sort of given up on that. And maybe I've said that. I feel like I've said that before and then fell back into old patterns, but now I'm really giving up on it. And I suppose part of my intention with this is to make each time I sit down to record, just speaking to the camera, I want to make it feel as real and natural as possible. I don't want to be skewed or feel as though I need to edit it and waste so much time doing this or that thing so people watch longer. The people that watch are great. They'll be the people who need to watch, who resonate with the sort of stuff. I'm not trying to speak to, the mass of people on the internet. There's a very select group of people who are going to be interested in this sort of intellectual content, I suppose, and free-flowing content. And this isn't for mass consumption, so to speak. It's its own niche. But regardless, coming back to this question of doing less and not more, the central intention of that is to allow my work and my creativity to originate from a relaxed state of mind, a relaxed form of consciousness. Like I said, I found that trying to work excessively, be hyper-productive, it was in fact stressing out my nervous system. It was stressing out my mind. It was leading to burnout. And it wasn't making me feel good. It didn't make me feel excited. I felt like I was just this machine pumping shit out. And why would anyone find that enjoyable? And here's the thing as well, like working more doesn't even necessarily doesn't actually mean you're gonna do better, especially with creating this form of content, right? If you're pumping them out and really trying to gear towards the algorithm, your energy comes off in the process of recording. And I feel like viewers subconsciously or perhaps consciously can pick up on that. They can pick up on when you've sold your soul out. You're not really here to deliver important educational information. When you're just gearing your information just to try and get algorithmic rewards, you're forgetting the whole purpose of content creation or creativity. It's not for the external benefits, the extrinsic purpose. It's for the love of doing it, And what's important to me is to love what I do, What's the point? Your life becomes very shallow when you're obsessing over, YouTube analytics, or, whether this video got this many views, or whether I'm growing enough, or whether this or that thing. All those things they're important to me, but I want to achieve those things in the right sort of way, in having people who genuinely resonate with my content and resonate with what I have to say, following and watching and communicating with me. It's that interaction which is the important thing. People come to me because I have these sort of experience and this sort of knowledge, and I enjoy helping people. Because I'm helping people who were like me, years ago with my various issues and stuff like that. And I think that's beautiful, really. I find it very beautiful when people send me messages and say, "Oh, this really helped me" and stuff, and that's amazing. It's important to maintain sight of that all the time. And yeah, I guess sort of sometimes I feel like I don't know. Sorry, I'm freezing up. I'm realizing I'm still recording, but that just sort of happens when you're speaking to this camera. But I think I'll sort of tie off there. I hope it's been a useful, interesting video for all of you guys to listen to. I guess at the ending of the video, at the end of the video, you should always say, "Oh, like and subscribe, comment, yada yada. Follow me on Instagram," all that sort of stuff. And if you're interested in my sort of mentorship, DM me, email me, whatever. We can set something up if you're interested in establishing a one-on-one dialogue, which I'm very interested in. I like speaking to you people, particularly in that setting where I can hold space for someone and really listen to them. That's the thing with me. Whilst all my videos are of me speaking, I'm not a big speaker. I'm not a big talker. Ironically, the two things I speak to most in my life is my wife and the camera. But that's me, I suppose. But yeah, if that's something you're interested in, the mentorship stuff, do let me know, and we'll get in contact. And I'll leave that at that. Goodbye, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.